443 Ball Talk. Let's kick it off.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Shawana, aka the Arsenal girl. I am here with Moosie, who is a football fanatic. You might have seen some of his controversial tweets. This is the person behind them, all right? If you need a face to the tweets, this is the guy right here. He is in the process of starting his own podcast, 433 Ball Talk, and we're here to talk about that as well as so many things happening in the world of football. Hey, Moosie.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing?
What's up?
Just here to get it started, kick it off. Ball talk, 443 ball talk. You know, I've been passionate about football for the longest, ever since like a little kid. And talking with my friends over the years, I always wanted to start a podcast, but it's like I couldn't really necessarily find the necessary motivation. But recently, I said to myself, I'll be on social media talking about sports all the time. Why not put it on audio, get it recorded, and let people hear what I have to say?
Yeah. So, what is your credibility? Why do you think people need to hear what you have to say?
I feel as though in today's world, a lot of people, it's a lot of people follow what everybody else is saying, and my stuff is raw and it's unfiltered. I'm going to give you the blunt truth. A lot of people, they fanboy off people, and they don't necessarily speak the truth. They don't have views of their own. They go by what the popular view is. I'm just going to give it to you blunt as can be, whether you like it or not.
And I'm telling you guys, he and I have had it out on Twitter so many times because it is true. He gives it to you as it is, like we've known each other for so long. But when it's football season, best believe we're going to have it out on Twitter. So he knows what he's talking about. And you've also played football. You lived in England for a while. You know, tell us a little bit more about your background in football as well.
All right, background, it goes way back. Basically, I grew up in Kingston, Duane Park. I played for Duane Park from the kid level. Left Duane Park, went to Waterhouse. For school, I played at Wolmer's. Played up to the courts level. Then left Jamaica, moved to England. Played at Space Academy. Played college ball. Went on a few trials at a few professional teams, and back and forth. Now currently just play like recreational football, but everything that I've been doing my whole life surrounds football, nonstop football.
Okay. So not only does he talk the sport, he plays the sport. So this is a man who knows what he's talking about, who knows the tactics behind the game, and he also knows a lot of the players in the world of football. So I see you're repping your reggae boy. Wait, is this the reggae boys or the reggae girls jersey?
You know, funny you said that, and I made a tweet yesterday. I think, no offense, I think JFF dropped the ball with the whole negotiations, I would say, with the whole Adidas jerseys. I don't think, I wouldn't say I don't think. I do believe that they should probably negotiate a deal so the reggae girls could actually have a different jersey from the men. Especially, the men just played in the Gold Cup in the shirt that you can see I'm currently wearing, and the women are also going to play in the same jersey. I think they could have marketed a little bit better to benefit from some form of shirt sales. But you know that goes in the business world.
That's JFF for you. No, the Reggae Girls, they're currently playing in the FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. And they played their first game against France, gaining a point, holding them to a 0-0 draw. That's huge.
Let me tell you, it's a major deal. I'm going to just go backtrack, right? Remember back in the day when Popcorn said, I love Cartel the most, me love the Reggae Girls the most, because I've been following the Reggae Girls before anybody was. Like, I was tweeting about the Reggae Girls for a long time where people would actually make fun of me like, dude, you're actually watching women playing football? It doesn't matter for me. Whether it be kids, men, women, I watch it all. As long as it's football, I want to be involved. So I've been following the Reggae Girls for a long time. And let me just say, it's a major, 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 major proud moment for me seeing them pull it off this morning. Like, you know, they're in Australia. Like, you have to wake up at the crack of dawn to catch some of these games. But what they did this morning, totally exceptional. And I'm looking forward to see what happens next in the second game against Panama.
And I just want you to implore to the massive how important it is to support the Reggae Girls, because we saw the support for the Reggae Boys in the Gold Cup. We're not hearing enough about the Reggae Girls playing in the World Cup.
Sometimes it's kind of sad because the Reggae Girls actually created history. This is their second World Cup. They qualify for back-to-back World Cups. First Caribbean nation to ever do that. And I feel as though with sponsorship should not be even, it shouldn't even be a question. Everybody should be ready to jump on board. Like up until recently, they had to be like begging money to help them out. And there's so many people that's so many organizations that could have came on board. There's no way the women are doing so well. Like women in sports are a big thing today. So I don't see what the reason is behind why they don't actually get the support. And it's not just the sponsorship side. We have the fans. Like they play local games, and you can the support. They barely get any support. So it's not the people who come on social media and talk about JFF this and sponsors this, all of that. But the same people, they Twitter fingers, because they don't put all that talk into play. They don't go out and support the girls when they play. Everybody talk until it's time for them to actually match up with their mount.
Yeah. How many people had their alarms set to watch them?
I seen a lot of people actually tweeting that, like, set their alarms to get some of these games. I hope they actually got up and watched the game. But
yeah,
you never know. People talk, say, let's see. You never know.
Of course. So we just want to rally around our Reggae Girls, and we're rooting for them, and we can't wait to see them against Panama. And I think their third game is against Brazil, so that's gonna be pretty dope. Tough group.
But with like I seen somebody ask the other day, but a lot of people. I'm always here to enlighten people, like to break down knowledge to them. But like everybody was asking, like, how did Jamaica end up in a group with France and Brazil? Little do they know, it wasn't on purpose, or they trying to single Jamaica out. It's the only reason being behind it is because Jamaica is so lowly ranked, and whenever you go into those pots, you're going to end up with two world-class teams. But this morning, let me tell you, they definitely held their own. And despite Bunny Shaw getting that red card late in the game, they really showed that they, with the proper backing, they can be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. And speaking of Bunny Shaw, I don't know how many people know that she was voted Manchester City's player of the season. Men and women, like she was the player of the season for Manchester City, a team that won the treble.
As a Man United fan, that's the only Man City player I cheer for. Like, I actually look out and follow the Man City women Twitter page to keep up with all our ongoings. I felt like this morning, the referee with the red card situation, maybe because even though she's Jamaican, she's not getting that world-class treatment. Yeah, the tackle was late. Maybe it led by a lot of, I would say, like frustration, but I felt as though she could have gotten the world-class treatment, and the referee just let her off with a warning. She'll be a big miss for the Panama game, but hey, I'm sure the girls can still pull it off.
Yeah, they can hold their own. I want to switch gears now, and we are in America, and this is the country of the MLS, and the biggest news surrounding the MLS right now is the biggest football star in the world, Messi. He had his first game for Inter Miami, and in true Messi style, he scored an absolutely beautiful free kick. What are your thoughts on Messi being in the MLS?
Let me just say, over the years, I've never really you would never catch me indulging in any of these GOAT debates about Messi, Ronaldo, this.
Even though Ronaldo is probably a baller still.
No, Ronaldo is actually not my baller.
Okay.
Ronaldinho my baller.
All right.
The Brazilian Ronaldo my baller. But the thing is, maybe because Ronaldo played for Man United and I support Man United, a lot of people felt like the incline that I was actually a Ronaldo fan. Yeah. No, it's too much stuff with him. Like, I respect his game, but he comes with too much drama. I have nothing against Messi. Me personally, I'd never wanted to give him that GOAT title for the simple fact he's an Argentinian and I support Brazil. Yeah. That rival. I'm big on rivalry, very passionate about rivalry. But I must say, after
Wait. Zoom in for me.
After they gave them not gave them. They earned that World Cup after Messi
Oh.
lifted the World Cup title. Yeah, it pains me to say this, but he's definitely the GOAT. You can't take nothing from him. And hats off to all the Messi fanboys. You guys don't no longer have to debate with the Ronaldo fans. Messi, yes, I'm putting this on record.
No, I'm clutching my pearls. I am shocked to hear you say this.
Messi is the GOAT.
Now I wish I had bookmarked some of your tweets.
Yeah, because trust me, I used to talk a lot of smack about Messi, but I had to give it to him. And let me tell you this. I actually was at work when when he made his debut for Miami, and I actually told people I'm at work. Can somebody like reach out to me, let me know when Messi come on, because he wasn't in the lineup. And I just knew, it's like it was written in the stars. Like you just knew Messi would come on and score, but I didn't expect. But like for him to score such a beautiful goal, you know, I see a lot of people on social media saying like it was scripted. There's no way that could be scripted.
Wait, did you see that keeper though?
He was trying, but he had no chance. So yes, let me go on the record to repeat myself.
Oh dear.
Messi is officially good. Just to speak on it, Messi coming to play football in the United States of America is a very big deal. You know, everywhere Messi gonna play, a lot of people gonna want to come out and watch him. Imagine you having the greatest player of all time playing in your city. If you're not in that stadium at that time, you definitely missing out. So, hey, hopefully when he comes to DC, I'm definitely gonna have some tickets, because I've seen him play before in preseason friendlies, but never in the real time. So most definitely, I would definitely be checking Messi out. I know that the tickets have gone sky high, but you only get one chance sometime in life to see certain players play, and I'm definitely going to take up that opportunity when it presents itself.
I know that's right. Once in a lifetime opportunity, that is, for real. And we're going to look at another league that's been in the news a lot recently, the Saudi Pro League. Whew, they have been snatching some good players. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo last year. Now we have players like Karim Benzema, Kante, Neves. What do you think is happening over there? Do you really think that it has longevity, I want to ask?
You know, I'm a firm believer. I don't wish bad on anybody or anything. I hope it is something that's sustainable, because we have seen in the past where the Chinese tried it, and that was an epic fail. I mean, we all know that the Saudis have a lot of money, but I'm wondering if they're just doing it just for doing its sake, or they're actually passionate about improving the game over in Saudi Arabia, getting more people involved. So far, it's pretty interesting. I know the English Premier League actually should be loving it, because they're actually bailing out a lot of the English clubs that are trying to offload majority of their French players.
Yeah.
Please, Saudi Arabia, Manchester United have a few players that would like to leave. Please come over and make some bids. Yeah, but all in all, it looks good. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo trying to take all the credit and make it seem like he's the reason why. But I just believe that the Saudi Arabians, they're trying to be relevant in this football world, and it might bode well for them in the future in terms of hosting World Cups or developing quality players. Like with all those quality players going over there, meshing with their locals, that could possibly improve their actual game.
From that angle, I definitely see that, having some quality, superb players helping to improve your game. But I can't help but also think that maybe it's just like they're just flexing their muscles. This is the new thing for them to try, because sometimes when you have money, you can just do whatever and try whatever with it. So I think they're flexing their muscles a little bit, especially coming off the World Cup in that part of the world. They want to show that, hey, we're heavy hitters too. We have money too. We can play this game too. But I'm not sure how passionate they are about it. And we see where you don't have a lot of passionate football supporters over there either. So I'm not sure how long it's going to last.
I don't know. Like I said earlier, the Chinese tried it, but we are, as the good old Jamaicans saying, time longer than a rope. So we're gonna really see if them really bought that life. I don't believe that they're actually passionate as they ought to be. And I have to agree with you. I feel like it's like just a new venture for them. Like it's just okay. We can do it. We have the money. We can do this. Let all the world let the world know that we have the paper. We can do whatever we want. So basically, trying to snatch all the stars. And when think about it, it's like a life changing thing for a lot of those players. The money that they're offering right now, it's like lifetime playing professional football money. Some players are making crazy money or 2-3 year deals. So the only thing is for me. I just don't. A lot of players. I wouldn't like to see a lot of players go there, and it kind of like mess up them in terms of their development because they're not playing in the top class standard as usual.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll see what happens over there in the Saudi Pro League. Of course, Ball Talk 433 Ball Talk will be keeping up to date with everything, and you'll have more to say about that for sure. Now. Old rivals met in New York. Manchester United played the great Arsenal. Manchester United came out 2-0 winners in the friendly here in America. And a lot of Manchester United fans seem to think that they're going to win the league based off of this preseason game. I've also heard some say Arsenal won't make it to top 4. Hey, how was that match?
Let me just say, I'm a firm believer. How you practice is how you play, and I like the fact that my coach came out and said, Manchester United, as a Manchester United coach, we don't play friendlies. Every game should be taken seriously, and with all the money Arsenal invested,
200 million,
and the team that they started yesterday. I felt like they was taking that game serious. So now, a lot of Arsenal fans, hold up.
Let me just pull up the starting 11 we used yesterday. Because first of all, if we were taking that game as seriously as we should have, Ben White would have started. Let's start there. He started Timber. Timber is yet to play a full game for Arsenal. And even though I think he is the best signing for us this season, Timber is not the starter that we would have played if we were taking this as seriously. I think Mikel Arteta used this game against Manchester United as an experiment. And who better to experiment on than a Premier League team? And that's what I think he did. But go ahead.
All right.
Back to what you were saying.
Let me just say this. Arsenal started.
And Nketiah would have never started if we were taking this seriously. And no offense to Eddie Nketiah, but we can't defend you all the time. Like, he would not have started, all right? He would have, all right. Ben White would have started. Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel. We have Partey back in the squad. This would have been the best opportunity to play the Partey, Rice, and Odegaard midfield. And then start Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus up front. I think this is what preseason is about. Experimenting, seeing how well these new people can gel with your team, see what we can do for next season. And the best team, as I said, to experiment on is the team you're going to be playing against next season. Your biggest rival. Let's see how Timber can match up against a Manchester United.
Let me just say this again. Arsenal started a very strong team.
But we also have a bench now. So every player we put out there, it's going to look like we have a very strong team. Like, we have a strong side.
So basically, you're telling me now, no excuses, right?
Carry on.
All right. So let me get back into it. Arsenal came out starting a very strong team. All their social media fans, especially the popular ones, were hyping up this game beforehand. After they beat the MLS All-Stars 5-0 early in the week, they felt like they were on top of the world. Let me just tell you, they came to New Jersey and they got punched in the mouth. I'm not a firm believer in playing Premier League rivals during preseason.
Can I cut you? Because I don't want it to pass. They got punched in the mouth. I don't want to pass that because that was an ugly game by Manchester United, and it all started with your coach, who I'm sure he had them all, like fueled up to play against Arsenal, thinking this was probably the goddamn Champions League final. It is a preseason friendly, and yes, I get it. We're big rivals. We're not gonna be friends, but you don't go out and play such damaging football, like. So yeah, they did want to punch us and break us out there.
Let me just say this, right? Ten Hag has come in and have Manchester United confident again. I love everything he's doing so far. In his first season, he made a few mistakes here and there, but with the game of football, a lot of stuff, keyword like you said earlier, a lot of experimenting. Some of the players, he didn't necessarily know them. He gave them a fair shot so they can prove themselves. Yesterday, like you said, he had them players fired up.
Yeah.
Of course, we were overly aggressive because guess what? Arsenal are known to break when they're roughed up. So guess what? We roughed them up and we came out on top. And it actually sets the tone for September 3rd when we meet in the league.
Wow,
and I'm actually
bookmarked.
I have it bookmarked and I'm looking forward to it. And all the Arsenal fans that have been talking smack for the past couple months leading up to this preseason game and looking forward to what we're going to have in the regular season, it's on and popping. But I must say, even though we won the game, yeah, you can say it's just preseason, but preseason can also give you a glimpse of what to expect in the upcoming season. And you can clearly see that whatever Ten Hag is doing, some of these fringe players have actually stepped their game up. Arsenal, let me speak on Arsenal for 2 seconds. They broke the record for an English signing, 105 million British pounds for basmati rice. And
I think it's Jasmine, but we'll that's yet to be determined.
you know what? He might be plastic because look at the little kid.
Plastic rice was a wild time. But carry on.
The little young kid from the Manchester United Academy, Mano, or Manu or Mano, whatever they call him. The young prodigy, the young star boy in midfield yesterday, 18 years old, showed that he can mix it with the men. And for somebody that's players don't determine their price tag, but once you get signed for a certain amount of money, the expectations are going to be super duper high. So yesterday, for the money Arsenal spent, yeah, you can say he hasn't gelled in with the system yet, but bala.
He didn't play bad, but also he hasn't played a full 90 minutes for Arsenal yet. I just think we cannot get ahead of ourselves with this preseason game. As an Arsenal fan, I refuse to let this determine what our future will be like. And Moosie, I implore you, do not use this to determine what Manchester United will do in the season, because I shall be on Twitter when you are cussing them out, when they are not delivering what you think they should based off of a preseason match against Arsenal. It's too early. There are just too many different variables. We've lost a core of our Arsenal squad in Granit Xhaka. Like I don't know who will be able to. No, Granit Xhaka would have stood up in that field yesterday and rough up Manchester United. Like, we do not have anybody in the team who will get physical, who will thump them down.
Can I interject for a second?
Like, we lost that. It's going to be hard for us to, or not hard, but it's going to take some time for us to just kind of develop what we had last season. And I'm going to use this to say, I know a lot of you guys were so excited about the new signings and we can just simply forget about some of the guys who were there who took us on an amazing title race last season. No, we can't do that. They did that last season. A party. As in Zinchenko, like, they were there. And just because we have some new signings, it doesn't mean that we should be quick to let them go. It doesn't mean that we should be quick to forget about what they bring to the team. We have Jorginho, who we got from Chelsea, who really helped us out at the end of the season. You know that. He has the experience. He has that leadership. And I do think those players are still very important to the success of the team this season. And I would like for the fans to just be patient. Let's see what Mikel Arteta does with his new signings, and let's see how best we can get the best out of the old guys, the new guys, and just have a plan going forward, because it is a process and I trust it.
You know, I hear you talking, and even I agree with a lot of the stuff you're saying, but you know, we live in an era where nobody has patience anymore. When you Arsenal over the years were back in Arsene Wenger days, they would say Arsene Wenger wasn't properly back. United Emery came in, he wasn't properly backed. And Arteta first couple season, he wasn't properly backed. But now this season, you guys went out and spent over 200 million.
And the season hasn't started yet. This is preseason.
Hold on. It's preseason. I understand that. And I'm sure they're probably going to sign somebody else. Do I believe Arsenal signings is going to push them to go all the way in the title race this year? Absolutely not. I do believe yesterday, even though it's a preseason game, and I'm glad you said it, that aggression, that steal in midfield, you guys no longer have it. And yesterday, what Man United did, a lot of teams, even though it's preseason, a lot of teams are going to be watching that tape and realize that if you get up in Arsenal face and play tough and rough them up, they're going to break. Yeah. So just be mindful. Hey, listen to what Shawana said. You Arsenal fans that are getting your hopes up or think, oh, it's going to be an easy ride. You all know, if you've been following the Premier League for all these years, you all know that it's not a 100-meter race. It's a long distance. And it's all about who can keep their players fresh, who can avoid having a lot of injuries. But with that said, I do believe, even though it was for preseason, we kind of like set the tone by, yes, we did. We punched them in their mouth, whether them like it or not. Rough them up, yeah. Lead shot, make some tackle. We make them dip on social media, cry, like them want to report him to the police and all, Scotland Yard and all these things. But we set the tone early, and I'm actually excited about this season. Even though we still have those owners that need to go, the coach is actually working miracles with what he currently has. And you can clearly see the players' confidence is sky high. That we now have an identity how we're playing, how we've transitioned from playing out the back to midfield to the forward line. It was impressive yesterday. Like we said earlier, it's just preseason, but it's something good to look at leading up to the regular season.
No excuses, but I also want to talk about the pitch we played on. It was a grass field that covered a synthetic pitch. And as a result of that, it slowed down our game. Arsenal is a quick-moving team. We have a lot of fast players, and that helped to... That's a part of it. That's a part of it.
Here's my take on that. A bad workman always blame his tools. That same pitch that was grass field that was put on that synthetic field, Manchester United had to play on it, right? And we did score 2 goals, so no excuses. So I'm not trying to buy that.
Yeah. You had said something earlier about listen to me. This is just preseason, and we have all these players and all of that, and they're not going to take Arsenal to the title race. But I do want to ask you, a particular false 9 scored against Arsenal in the preseason game, and I want to find out from you: is Jadon Sancho the man that is going to take Manchester United to the title race, to the next level?
I don't know why you put me on the spot like that. Funny enough, yesterday I was actually randomly wearing Sancho's jersey. If anybody that know me, I'm a big fan of Sancho, but I don't know what it is. Like, even me, as passionate I am, and I be bashing the players online, as humans, we have to understand that these players are also humans. They do have stuff that goes on in their lives outside of football. Football is just like how me and you may have our careers, our 9-to-5s. Football is actually their 9-to-5 in their careers. And even though we are engaged and we want to see them do well, and we're fanatics, and we sometimes we go overboard and hurl all different type of insults, we have to take in consideration, backtrack sometimes, and understand that these players do have outside lives. They do have stuff that they fight on a regular basis, just like us. Jadon Sancho, he's been through a whole lot. He had to take a long break, and shout out to Ten Hag because he realized that there's talent there, but if you've mentally checked out, there's no way you can play your game. So Ten Hag sent him away to Holland to work on his game. I do believe there is a lot in his arsenal to unlock. No pun intended. No pun intended. There's a lot there. We saw what he did in the German league. Even though the German league is a little bit lower standard compared to the Premier League, he doesn't get to have as much time on the ball. Currently, for the money that he's making, I'm big on paying players what they're actually worth. But the money that he came in, because of the current regime that we have at Man United, we pay players ridiculous wages. That's why sometimes it's so hard to offload some of these French players because we're paying them crazy money that they don't really deserve.
You keep saying French players.
They are French players because they're not Man United standard. Like, I've been watching this since the 90s. These players are not Man United standards. But let me stay on topic. Jadon Sancho. I'm sorry, homeboy. You know I'm your biggest fan. If you're going to be seeing this, I'm one of your biggest fans. If you can't get it together this season, actually early in the off season, they said he was one of the players that was up for sale. But if it so happened that the transfer window closes and you don't get to leave, and you got to put your head down, get back locked in, get it together, and play a major part in this team this season. Do I believe that he's going to play a major part? Absolutely not. But he could be an integral part to what Ten Hag has going on. Mm-hmm. Because of currently we don't have a number 9, I feel as though Ten Hag is experimenting like Arteta is. Mm-hmm. So he's using him as the false 9, and he looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it's just preseason. You know, a lot of players growing up back in the day, we used to call them training baller. A lot of players look good in training. You put them in the real game, and it's not the same. So let's see. I'm hoping for the best as one of his biggest fans, but oh boy, I'm slowly losing patience. So please shut up all of the haters and all the people in where you have me looking bad. Please hold up my word and don't let me look bad.
So you don't have a number 9. Who is the one ideal player who you'd want at Manchester United in that number 9 position?
There's quite a few. Like, currently we're linked with this kid from Atalanta in Italy, Hudglund, and
yeah, I just saw that.
You know, Shawana, you know how I am. I'm not going to jump on no wagon. I don't know much about this kid. I had to actually go on YouTube and look at his highlights. And, you know, highlights can tell a story. I could put some of my recreation league highlights together, and one of these clubs might want to sign me. So I can't just go based off highlights, but based on the few clips I've seen and the type of football that Ten Hag plays. He's only 20 years old. I feel as though at 20, coming into the Premier League, a total different culture, the weather, the food, the environment, everything is going to be different. So
the level of the
high standard of play is different. It's different compared to in Italy. So I don't know, but I'm a firm believer if the coach have a good track record so far in terms of the players he's signed. So if that's the player, I'm not 100%. I don't believe that Hudglund is actually the coach's first choice, but I know you asked me who would I like.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The player I would sign,
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane.
Would I take him too? Come back home, Harry.
Yo,
he was at Arsenal. Come back home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if I would, the money that this Italian team is demanding, it's crazy money. Like I heard quotes of £80 million
for a 20-year-old.
For a 20, unproven. If Man United had proper ownership and had proper people in the recruiting staff,
not everyone can have an Edu, you know.
Yeah, I know the people that are handling the business side of the football, it would definitely, without a doubt, be Harry Kane.
Yeah. But
you know, Man United over the years have problems negotiating, and if it wasn't Harry Kane, it would be Osimhen from Napoli in Italy. Mm-hmm. At this conjuncture where we at with this rebuild, as they would say, we need a striker that's going to come in and hit the ground running. We signing that kid from Atalanta, he gonna have to come in and adjust. It's gonna be a whole transition, getting used to the pace. Like I said before, the culture, all that stuff, the league, all that stuff. So it's gonna take some time. If you look, we signed Anthony. Yeah, Anthony. The Jew is still out for you, bro. So and it's only, and it took Casemiro a while. And Casemiro is a world-class player. It took Casemiro a while to adjust to the Premier League.
Coming from
Real Madrid, that he's won everything. It's the same for Varane. It took him some time to adjust. You know, so I don't know. I guess they want Hudgland, so I guess that's who's gonna be, you know. I'm just a fan. You know, I'm a bat my manager regardless, but you know, if it don't work out, Ten Hag, I'm gonna be the first one to say, I told you so. But back to the top.
What about you gots to go?
Nah. Listen. The pain I've had to endure over the years with
these managers after Sir Alex.
Let me tell you this. A lot of people would say, oh, we got to move on. Yes, we needed to move on. But I still have a problem with Sir Alex, though, because Sir Alex was the one that picked David Moyes to take over. He single-handed told the board, this is the man that should take over when I leave. I'm not going to get into my feelings about what I feel that the reason why that happened. But, yeah, Sir Alex, you're the greatest, but you dropped the ball on that one. And we've had some headaches over the years, and it's finally, I feel as though we have somebody that knows what he's doing, not scared of player power, and he's not backing down for anybody. If you notice, last season, it's a miracle how Man United finished third last season, you know, because he had to deal with Ronaldo antics, Maguire antics, the ownership not backing him, signing players late in the transfer window. Yeah. All of that, as a new manager, should have been in place before. I'm sure when him come in, he already told them, this is what I want to, this is the players that I want to add to the team. These are the players that don't fit what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. And they kind of, in a sense, screwed him over a bit. But I believe you will never, ever, no time soon anyway, hear me say Ten Hag out, as much as Arsenal fans be saying Arteta out. So, yes, long live Ten Hag, because you've come in and stabilized Man United again. We still have a long way to go, but to finish third last season and win a low, but them say a low tin cup, I'll take it. But so far, yes, I like what Ten Hag is doing, but I wish we were a serious club. Like, I want us to be serious and go for Harry Kane.
You know, I like this humility from Manchester United fans. The fact that you can sit there and, you know, man, I'll take third. I'll take a little tin cup. And I will always say this, for the magnitude of that club, for the many trophies that you guys have won, to see you guys fold in your arms and just lapping up a third place, lapping up a fourth place, and be like, you know what, with everything we have going on, this is okay. And I've said this before, and a lot of people came at me for it, especially the people on TikTok. You guys are becoming Arsenal fans where, no, hear me out, where you're starting to become so accepting of a lesser level than you're used to. And I always say, like, yo, for a team at Manchester United, you guys have not won a trophy have not won the Premier League in 10 years plus now. It's like Arsenal was that team one time. And I can see where you guys are heading in that direction. And I am telling you, it's not okay to be okay with what you get from your club, because you're going to be 20 years in without a Premier League title. You see how quick 10 years went by? You're going to be 20 years in without a Premier League title and talking about the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And that's what I say, like, okay, I get it. You are Manchester United. Start acting like it. And that's why sometimes I have such big issues with the fans, because the world knows the magnitude of Manchester United. The world knows what Manchester United have accomplished. But to see the fans now be like, yeah, we'll win like an FA Cup, we're cool with it. Yeah, we didn't come first, but we came third, and our manager is like experimenting and we're trying to figure it out. Like, you're going to be 20 years without a trophy. It might not sound like what you want to hear, but be realistic. Ten Hag might come and give you 10 more years.
All right, let me touch on that real quick. Let's be clear.
Oh.
Man United will never, ever be your Arsenal. We'll never have such low standards. We have to understand where we're at. Ten Hag came in as a new coach from a new league, adjusting to the Premier League. In his first season, what he achieved, I would go out on the limb and say it was an exceptional achievement. We finished third. We went far in the Europa League.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the FA Cup final and were convincing beaten by Man City.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand them. For him to achieve that, despite almost being undermined by player pool.
You missed out the Carabao Cup that you won.
Oh man, but we added the Tin Cup. He did, like I said, he won the Carabao, FA Cup finals. We went
far in the Europa League.
Quarterfinal
and
in
came third.
And came third in the league.
What an achievement for Manchester United.
For a first season with a coach that's coming from a foreign league, I believe that's decent. That's a decent season. I'm not going. For me, a person that has high standards, I can live with that. That is something to build on. Like this season. Are you ready for what I'm about to say next? Like this season, we should be going for the championship. This season, we're going for the title. So don't believe last season was a joke. This season, we're coming for the title. So
I can't wait to
Man
give my
Cities,
top 4 predictions.
you Man Cities, you Liverpools, you Arsenals, Chelsea. No, stay. Don't ruin this.
Don't forget you have Newcastle in the mix now.
No, they just one season wonder.
Okay.
This season, we will be challenging for the title. I'm a firm believer in that. Glazers, if you're not going to leave, please supply Ten Hag with the necessary funds so we can challenge for the title. So we're not going to be the Arsenal that are settling for a third or a fourth place finish or settling for a cup. We want the major titles. We want to win the league, and we want to be winning Champions League, something Arsenal has never won. You know what I'm saying? We want to go back. We want to go back to doing that again. You know what I mean? And what Ten Hag is cooking, it smells good.
Okay.
And it's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to this season. That's why I said the thumping of the mouth where Arsenal get yesterday, it's the start. It's just the beginning. And I'm looking forward to this season.
I can respect that. As an Arsenal fan, I have placed a lot of faith in Mikel Arteta, and so I know what it means to trust in your manager and your team and to just hope for the best. And that's what you're doing right now. You're hoping for the best, and you're hoping that come May, you won't see a clip of this floating around on social media with people laughing at you when Manchester United don't even make top 4, you know?
Speaking of that, you know, I'm known on Twitter right now for bookmarking people takes.
Yeah, man, bookmark this.
People, I'm famous for bookmarking, and that's the reason why I've become reserved about making affirmations about what I want my team to do in the league, blah, 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 because people will save it because they're out for me. They
you're
will
a
save
podcaster now, you know? It's not just a tweet, your face
they'll
will
save
be in it.
They'll be like, oh, you remember when you said this? Anything I say on record, I'm going to stand 10 toes deep on it.
Period.
No, I ain't saying no period. But, I'm going to stand 10 toes deep on it because I'm a firm believer in it, right? All we can have is hope and aspirations, right? We don't have no hold or no control over what may happen. Anything a player like what we're expecting to do well could end up getting injured. It's part of the game. But
and it works for you in your favor. But when Arsenal players get injured and you see how that affects our season, I don't see you or anyone else saying, you know what, I can see how this affected their title charge. No, it's like, oh, Arsenal are bug. This is what they do. They build you up to drop you. Like, it just works when it's in Manchester United's favor.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to tell you this, right? You know, last season, at one point in time,
you believed.
I believed Arsenal was going to... Listen, I was not supporting y'all.
So can you imagine us as fans? If a Manchester United fan believed Oh gosh, man, give me some grace.
Let me tell you one particular game. If you cut me, you would not find no blood. It was the Bournemouth game where y'all came back from 2-0 down to win it in injury time.
Nelson.
I was sick that day. And let me tell you this. That's when I said to myself, as an Arsenal fan, if you don't have that belief, you're not going to have no belief again.
No, man. We were proper believers.
But the thing is, right, did you see that meme on social media with the elephant on the tree?
Oh, yeah, you tagged me in that plenty of times. How could I not have seen it?
Okay, yes, I forgot. I tagged her in it a couple of times. So, over the years, Arsenal are known to have come out swinging and falling short at the last hurdle. But last year, I thought Arsenal, finally, they're going to overcome and go all the way. But then I'm going to have to live with Arsenal fans like Shawana rubbing it in our faces. So
y'all can mute me, you know?
It got to the point where, no, it's never that serious. It got to the point where I said to myself, let me weigh the pros and the cons. I really don't know much Man City fans. And if you notice, they won the treble and not a peep out of it.
Oh, there were a lot of peeps because people like me were peeping. Like, we were talking about it. Like, we weren't going to be the only ones suffering. The red side of Manchester was going to hear this from us. And I didn't even touch on how Manchester is now predominantly blue. Like, how could you guys let that happen? So this is what I'm talking about, the fall from grace from Manchester United.
I can't agree with that.
Manchester City, the noisy neighbors, are now the kings of the city.
Hear me out. That's impossible.
They're on the throne.
Hear me out.
They won the treble. You know what Manchester United had over everybody else? What was it?
We had the only team to win the treble.
And who to make come win the treble? And guess what?
We didn't have control.
No, who they played in the FA Cup final against?
Who were they in the league title race against?
No, let me tell you something. No, depend on Arsenal.
We shouldn't depend on Arsenal.
As a Manchester United fan, you hear where you just say, oh, Arsenal will trick you, make you feel like that they're going to win, and then they drop the ball. But guess what? You guys played Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Manchester United could have stopped Manchester City from winning the treble. The one thing that Manchester United was so proud of. And you make your biggest rivals, the man from next door, the noisy neighbors, as you guys call them, win the treble? Nah, fam.
Let me tell you, I just had flashback. That particular day, I was actually working from home. I set my MacBook up, turned the TV on. As I turned the TV on, bam, goal.
They do that.
I said, how is it we have the perfect opportunity to end all this trouble talk? Like, I had so many tweets saved in my bookmarks, treble this, treble that. And here we are, we get the opportunity to shut all this up. And I was ready to...
Thank you for saying that.
And
because as Manchester United fans, enough of depend by Arsenal should not have. Y'all had it and y'all lost it. So big up Manchester City, who are now treble title holders.
You know, I'm not gonna really talk on them too much for the simple fact, to this day, they're so successful on the field. Them have 115 pending charges. Breaking rules, still can't fill them stadium. You saying Manchester is now blue? It is not, because if it was blue, you would not fear beg people. I'm sure Arsenal will put tickets on sale.
Arsenal have the most expensive tickets.
Exactly. Arsenal don't put tickets on sale. City be literally giving away tickets so people can come watch them. Oh yeah, play big Champions League and can't fill a stadium. I don't understand that. So to me, them still Lily. Them on a big club. When them win the treble, them on a big club. Because guess what? If you notice, even in the media, right after them win it, there's still a dark cloud over that.
Yeah.
Because of those 115 pending charges.
Yeah.
Everybody else, when them win, when Arsenal won the Invincibles, you never hear no slap behind it. When Liverpool win them Champions League, well, Liverpool win a league in an empty stadium, so we didn't have no account. Put an asterisk beside that.
Liverpool win them Champions League.
Win them Champions League, fair and square. All right. When Man United win them treble, it was no controversy behind it. These dudes won a treble. And if you notice, since we never said, I said I wasn't going to speak on them, if you notice this season, because of all those pending charges, you realize how quiet they are in the transfer market.
Yeah.
They signed one player from Chelsea and nothing. Normally, City be busy in the transfer market. And that's why initially, when I seen how you guys came out and start splashing the cash finally, I said, yo, this might be the year. And because of yesterday, I'm going to have to change my top 4 predictions.
All right, speaking of top 4 predictions, I want you to look in that camera right there.
Which one?
This one, right? The one with the prompter.
Okay.
Say it with your chest, your top 4.
You know, I'm a gentleman, so I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Give me a top 4.
Hey guys, this is Shawana, aka the Arsenal girl, and here's my top 4 predictions for the 2023-2024 Premier League season. I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm going to start from 4. In 4th place, I believe Chelsea. Yes, I believe Chelsea will be back in the top flight. 4th place, Chelsea. I do think they have good players. I know they have a good manager. And I think Chelsea will do better this season. We will also see Liverpool return to the top 4, and they will come in at 3rd. 2nd place is the noisy neighbors, Manchester City, and coming in hot in 1st. Finally, Arsenal! Come on, you Gunners!
So
you'll see that Manchester United is not in my top 4.
That's what I wanted to address first.
Okay.
So you after my tongue out your teeth yesterday, you
Bro,
really
it is preseason.
Yeah, it's just preseason. Hear me out. So you just, on record, disrespected the great Manchester United. Really believe that we're not going to make top 4 this season. You know what? Without no further ado, let me get into it. Let me reintroduce myself. Moosie, a.k.a. 443 Ball Talk podcast host. I'm going to go out on a limb for my top 4. We started off in 4th place. Drum roll. In 4th place, I believe Liverpool going to finish 4th.
Yeah.
In 3rd place.
If you ever say Arsenal.
In 3rd place, it will be Arsenal.
Okay.
Arsenal going to finish 3rd this year. See, I give you guys enough respect. When I get in the regular 4th place spot, when I go one up and finish 3rd. And in 2nd place, let me hold on the mic a little bit. In 2nd place, it will be those noisy neighbors from Manchester.
What was the Chelsea coming first?
Can I talk in peace? And to win the 2023-2024 Premier League title, the greatest Manchester United will lift that trophy come May. Remember I said that.
We are going to remember. We
And
have
I'm
this
out.
on camera.
That's my top 4 predictions.
I think this is where we wrap it up. Moosie has Manchester United to win the Premier League. I have Arsenal. So it's going to be an interesting 2023-2024 season because I'm not so sure if the two are with that confident.
Listen, as much as I don't want to, you know, in life we make some ridiculous takes, but I'm a firm believer. If Ten Hag get the rest of the puzzles, the pieces to the puzzle, I believe Manchester United can go all the way this season. At one point in time, you know, remember the message up on Instagram, I said, yo, it looked like we know the title race, and then we get the injury, we get the couple injuries, not making excuses, but we don't have depth. We don't have a bench. So once the major key players got injured, it basically derailed the whole operation.
Yeah, I also welcomed Manchester United to
You
the
did,
title
you did,
race.
you did. You did post about it
in
also.
that moment, it looked that way. And, you know, I'm going to agree with you about your manager getting it right for you to have that belief, because that's the same belief I have. Yes, I might laugh and be like, but I do believe that we are going to do one better than we did last season. We have signed Declan Rice for £105 million, and I think we're going to see the best of him. I think Mikel Arteta can get him to play the way he wants him to play. I think we have started to build that bench. We have players who can come off and change a game. We did see that last season as well. I don't think we're going to do worse than we did last season. We can only do better, and better for us is first. And that's why I believe Arsenal will win the league.
All right, I know you've been asking all the questions. So before we wrap it up, I want to ask you a question. Who do you think is going to be the key player for Arsenal this season?
I don't think there's going to be one key player for Arsenal this season. I think there are going to be there are going to be multiple key players for Arsenal. I didn't even touch on this, but I feel like I want Arsenal to sign another striker. I need somebody solid enough for a backup for Bukayo Saka as well. In all the other places, I feel like we are okay now. Key players would have to be Martinelli, Saka, Saliba, because we saw how much Saliba's injury.
Big improvement, yo. Like, I was
We
impressed.
saw how much him being out for those months affected our title race. Saliba, I'm just kind of like impressed with how we are looking defensively now. Even though those 2 goals against Manchester United were as a result of our defense messing up, defensive errors, but I do feel like, our defense will play a major factor in how well we do this season. Our midfield, of course, with Declan Rice, you cannot be Britain's most expensive signing and not be a major impact in winning a title race. You cannot cost £105 and not help us win this race. So I am going to go out there and say, yes, Declan Rice, you're the most expensive man on the pitch. We want to see you come out and lead Arsenal, help to lead Arsenal to that title race.
All right.
But I will say, don't overlook Martinelli. He was our, I think, joint top
Why would I
scorer.
do that? I'm a
Not
Brazilian
you.
fan.
I'm just talking to the fans.
Oh,
I
okay.
think Martinelli is very, very key for Arsenal over there on the wing.
All right, since I asked the question, I'm going to touch base on this, and then we can just tell him so we're out and wrap it up. For Man United, the game, he was a loyal servant, but the game has gone past you. If you know me and you follow me on social media, you know that I've always backed the game in goal. Dave, the game come and pass you. You never adjust your game to match with the current standards, and unfortunately, Ten Hag respectfully tell the management, say, we don't need to renew your deal. So replacing the gear is going to transition Man United game with Onana. Even though Onana is very risky, he gives me, it makes me nervous, I must say. It reminds me of Fabian Barthez in goal. But I believe with Ten Hag temperament and discipline, he going to give him the right instructions, let him know like English Premier League is not the same as in Dutch League. It's not the same as Serie A. It's not the same when you're playing for Cameroon. You're not going to have much time on the ball. But he's a very good, the base of the game, the modern game now, playing out from the back, we're going to be much more comfortable playing out from the back. So in goal, our goalkeeper going to be key because he's going to be one of the top goalkeepers in the league. So he's going to come up trumps, help us to develop our game, passing game. In defense, what can I say? Licha, Martinez. But like I was telling somebody yesterday, like I feel like we owe Ajax some money for how outstanding he has been. Like he didn't even need no adjustment. The first 2 games, obviously, he looked a little shaky, but once him getting feet wet, he has been outstanding since. And like I said, he got injured at the latter part of last season, and it kind of derailed our Europa League ambitions. In midfield, I just need Casemiro to keep his discipline. He has to realize that in England, you can't just lunge in and make certain tackles, because after a while last season, I felt like the referees were out to get him, because like even so, I've seen players have scuffles, and he got red card twice over some scuffles. So his first season under his belt, I feel as though he should know what to expect from the English league. He should be fully adjusted now. I'm expecting a big season from him come this year. Bruno Fernandes, a lot of people are not a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of Bruno since day one because what Bruno did when he came, men lie, women lie, the numbers don't. You know, sometimes people say, oh, you just watch stats. No, you have to watch the stats because who else is producing these stats? And his stats are outstanding. And the fact that he has been named captain, I believe that's going to elevate this game to a next level. I believe MP Rashford will come big this season again. Like I said, Sancho, brother, I don't know, but the jury out for you, so you have to come step it out. And may I tell you, I'm expecting major things from the young boy wonder, Garnacho from Argentina. I'm expecting a lot from this kid. And I love the fact that Ten Hag is keeping him grounded, but I'm expecting major things. I know we haven't spoken it. I personally didn't want this guy at my team, but if the manager wants him, I'm going to back my manager until proven wrong. We signed Mason Mount for the money women believe we should have signed for somebody that only has a year left on their contract. But we have Mason Mount. I will apologize because I'm not really familiar with his game. But currently, I haven't seen it yet, but maybe the manager sees something that I don't see. I'm not a professional. I know the game, but I'm not a professional coach. But maybe the coach sees something in him that I haven't seen yet. I am yet to see it. Hopefully, I'll see it soon. And if he does well, Manchester United does well. So if he does well, he going to get my props. If he doesn't, I'm going to be the first to let you know, bro, you're not up to standard. Just like you guys, we need that striker. I don't know who it's going to be. We still have a few weeks left in the transfer window. Hopefully, we can sign another top striker to take some of the workload off of Rashford. But we need goals from the strikers. We need goals from all around. And we also, hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, Maguire lift up and go to our next club, and then we're going to need to replace him. But other from that, I believe we're like 2 to 3 pieces away from, even though I went out on the limb, say we're going to win the title, this is me being hopeful that we'll sign 3 more players that can push us over that, to that next level. So that's it. That's all I'm ever say. I just want, before I go, I just want to plug. You can follow 443 Ball Talk on all social media platforms. Hopefully kick off hopefully soon. So it's going to be a whole bunch of unfiltered stuff. You know, I give you guys the raw, blunt truth all the time, whether you like it or not. I'm always going to keep it 100. I'm not here to be liked. I'm just here to give you the blunt truth. I'm out.